Rage Whale. 3 friends, too many opinions, 1 podcast. This is episode 66, which gets the lads back together after an amazing run of special guests. Back to our usual mayhem, discussing movie news, recent shows, and going off on random tangents as per usual. Hope you enjoy the episode.
So, episode 66, and I think the first thing to bring up is that
on the right route, aren't we?
We are. Oh yeah, we're on Route 66. Drew, I know you don't want to do little videos anymore, but you totally should do a little video of Route 66 and us going along it.
That would be sick. Okay, I might do it.
Video.
I might do that. I might see what I can do.
Those listening, you'll know by now if Drew could be arsed or not.
I love that. I love the obligation there. Like, get in with the guilt. Get in with the guilt.
But I think we were just chatting a second ago, and I think we can all agree that we've had some really fantastic guests recently, and we really appreciate all the people that have shared their time with us. And I think there's not one person I wouldn't want to have on again for a second time.
Apart from Gareth.
He's been on for 3 times.
No, guys, guess what? I saw Gareth and Penguin Ass. Penguin Ass. Ass Penguin.
Not Ass Penguin.
New Colin Farrell film.
At Basingstoke. No, Basingstoke the other day. Very briefly.
Cool story.
I was going to sneak up behind them and be like, Penguin Ass. Language.
Oh, Kev.
So
I don't think I've showed you. I showed you my. You know, I was going on about.
Did you just ignore them?
I didn't. Well, no, it was. Now it sounds terrible. It wasn't that I was ignoring them. I was trying to find Sarah because Sarah was on the train that I needed to get on, and I was trying to look at the carriages to see where they were in mid conversation.
Apologies, James. He just said that he saw them, and I'm like, Gareth didn't mention that to me.
Just quickly following on from last week's. You know the murder shirt.
What?
The red rum shirt I had.
People in shirts again.
Red rum.
Yeah, I'm following that on. Still trying to get a sponsorship from Dixon. So we've got 2 more arrivals.
Oh, is this show and tell?
I think he's doing a catwalk, man.
For any country music fans out there, this is a teeny one though. Look, got some noise.
That's what she said.
So this is the Cody Jinks. Apparently he's a country singer. I bet you can't guess whose that is. It's not mine.
That's for James's goal weight. He's looking to get fit into that.
But you know what's crazy?
Kev, you'll like this one. See if you can guess the theme. I'll give you a clue. This got released at 13 minutes past 1, so 13:13 on Friday 13th.
That's very specific.
So Jason Voorhees.
It's a tenuous colour link, if I'm honest.
Oh.
Chucky.
Friday the 13th. Oh.
Got it.
Nice.
Yeah, it came out at 13:13.
Similar to his little dungarees and.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a hybrid, isn't it? Because it's not really. Because he wears a jumper, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's like blended.
Nice.
If we're doing show and tell, sorry, Drew, you wanted to say something?
No, I can't remember what the fuck I was going to say. No.
It's probably relevant to the previous.
No, I was going to say about, like, it was the colour thing. Reminds me. Do you remember when we were kids? We had those you had that long fabricy thing, and you'd slap it on your wrist, and it goes.
I'll be honest. When I wear that, I feel like a children's TV presenter or a clown.
What you mean, a paedophile?
No, not a news presenter, a TV presenter.
Well, yeah, but there was a lot of TV presenters that were as well.
Yeah, a certain Rolf Harris.
It feels like the BBC.
Oh, yeah. He's like, can you tell what it is yet? Yes, Rolf, it's child abuse.
Oh, right. So here's information about Rolf Harris. Right. When I was in London, I was an estate agent.
Wait, does this story end in tears?
For a lot of children, yes. We sold his house. We brought his house onto the market. I can't remember.
Recommended buying one with a basement.
But we had his house, and it was in a place called Hornsey.
Bet he was.
Which is near Crouch End. It's
Hornsey near Crouch End, really?
Yeah, Horn and Crotch. Yeah, it's not great wordings. Is it, Drew Horner?
Whoa, easy there, easy.
Sorry, just bringing you into the
Jesus.
But yeah, it was in Crouch End, and it was an end of terrace Edwardian house, which doesn't that doesn't sound that grand, but they're
Screams paedophile to me.
they're massive, like four
End of
floors.
terrace, nonce.
End of terrace, but it's end of terrace. At the end of his house is a gate, and then another house. That gate was the entrance to a primary school. No joke. His house was attached to the school. His garden, his view from every single bedroom in his
Kev
house
now lives in that house.
would have views of the children's playground.
I mean, to be fair to him, that's kind of like clever on his behalf. But
yeah,
that gives like bird watching a whole new level, doesn't it?
do you want to hear something really bad though, Drew?
I don't know
My
when he
old
last
house
lived there.
backed onto the school playground. So if I looked out the back window, it was just the school playground.
Jesus.
Disclaimer: I'm not a paedophile
Whoa.
anymore.
Thanks for
I
the
moved.
disclaimer.
Whoa. Wow.
Disclaimer: none of that was true.
He's not on the
The
list
fact I
because he's
moved,
far
that
enough
was
away
true.
to be off the list.
Jesus.
But no, it was
And
his
I won't be on
daughter. I
next
think he
week
was already.
because I'm going to be in jail.
I think Rolf Harris was already in prison at the time, and it was his daughter that was selling the family home, the family viewing gallery, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, we forgot to celebrate something actually. Movie related. Someone was 6 last week and he got a Deadpool card. How sick is that?
Hey, happy birthday, Ree.
Cool. That is really cool.
I've got 2 show and tells.
Back to school with Rage Whale. Here's show and tell.
One's movie related, one's not. So remember, I brought it up last 2 weeks because I'm still suffering a cold and a cough because of the Liverpool night out I had. But when I go, excuse me, not on cue. When I went to stay with my mate JD in London, his apartment, I remember going into it like about a couple of years ago, and I went into the toilet to go for a wee, and above the toilet he had this new piece of artwork that when I was very, very drunk, I looked at. Luckily, I was standing with my cock out over the toilet. I pissed myself. I was pissing myself at this piece of artwork that's so funny.
Was it Jackson Pollock?
No, and it's just brilliant. And every time I go to his house, I forget it exists until I go to the toilet and just look up and go, and then start literally tears coming out of my eyes.
I'm glad it was tears.
Yeah, and he came up to visit me, obviously for the Liverpool thing, and he brought me a gift. And he brought me the piece of artwork. I don't know if you can see it.
Is it a beaver? Is it a beaver throwing a chair?
It's an anteater.
Lift it up a bit. Do you know what?
There for that.
That's the famous
artwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. So thank you very much, JD.
Dude, that's awesome. That's called it's called the something's nightmare or whatever. It's like all the famous people that never made it if they were normal, as it were.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! I've got that guy's book. That artist.
Yeah, I forget his name.
No, not the one.
It has Jimmy Dean. It has James Dean is the barman. Then you've got Humphrey Bogart, and you've got is it Katharine Hepburn at the bar?
What's he called?
What's the link to the ant though? Like, why is the ant throwing like deck chairs at the glass?
It's just random. That's why it's funny.
Oh, okay.
I've got the art book of the guy that paints like that without the comedy aardvark. His name is
Edward Hopper.
I bought the art book because I wanted to see his art, but it was in German, so I couldn't read any of the stuff.
Did you hear me? I said Edward Hopper.
Yes.
It's called Nighthawks. It's that, but then there's an added anteater throwing a chair through the window.
He's a fantastic artist.
Does he just do loads of random, like different animals doing crazy stuff to people?
No, he doesn't do that. They added that.
Oh, so he's the guy that did the original.
You know, that's not. You know what I mean, right? That's not real. The anteater was added as a joke.
No, of course. Yeah.
I thought for a second.
Edward Hopper died like 60 years ago.
Because I was wondering what kind of job the anteater had before he was an anteater, you know, because everyone's famous.
Also, show and tell number 2 arrived today. James is showing us the thing. Yep, Edward Hopper.
Yeah.
This is my show and tell number 2. And
what?
It is a Lee Miller book.
Is that based off the film you just watched?
It's not based off the film. No, the film is
No, I
based.
meant it's based on the photographer though.
Yeah, these photos are incredible. I don't want to show you some of it because some of them are World War II and quite devastating.
Jesus.
But some of them are really cool. Really,
Kev,
really
do you
cool.
know why I bought the Edward Hopper book?
Because you like his art, I hope.
No, not at all. Because if you look at every single one of his paintings, it's like a composed photograph.
Yeah.
I got it for photo ideas. Every one of his images is like through a window or through like a person doing something. It's a composed photo.
That's
yeah,
clever.
I like his stuff. Died in the 60s.
67?
Correct.
Maybe that's why Ralph Harris was watching through windows. He was getting artistic ideas.
Yeah, so I got his
way
stuff
to
not
link
for the
back.
art side of things, for the photography side of stuff. You minger.
But yeah, this book is
Photographic ideas.
incredible. And I think, James, you need to see the film Lee with Kate Winslet.
I will when it comes out for free.
It's beautiful. It's so
For
good.
free.
So good. Oh, I saw a little bit of miniature
Little
movie
bit of
news. We haven't done movie news for fucking ages.
Oh yeah, I could talk about a film I watched that was
no
rubbish.
news.
You know what's crazy? Kev said we haven't done this, the three of us. When shall us three meet again? We haven't done this for ages because I've always had to sod off. So it's always been either you two or guests.
Well, I watched.
Yeah, it's because you've been seeing your wife like a loser, or
Ow.
Kev. I'm
I'm
true. I
joking.
watched Speak No Evil.
Speaking
What?
of, yeah, you watched the original Speaking
I
of
watched the
Evil.
original, the
Oh, it's
Danish
Dutch.
/ Dutch
Oh, yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, up to the last 10, 15 minutes, it's actually really good. Like, it's a bit it's tough to follow because they bounce between Dutch, English, and when they're communicating with their other half, they're talking like Dutch, or they're talking to their own family, they're talking like Dutch or Danish. When they're talking to each other, they're talking to the opposite family, they're talking like English.
Right.
So it's a lot of chopping and changing. There's not actually too much subtitles, to be fair.
So 3 languages going on.
Yeah. But Dutch and Danish, you can tell them apart, but they're a similar kind of dialect kind of thing. It's probably not at all, but when you listen to it, unless they said they were from different places, like for example, when they go to visit the Dutch family, they go and see a windmill. Like it's that blatant. But the ending is completely ridiculous. Like it might be the worst ending to any film I've ever seen.
Well, don't
It's a
say
contender for the end of Game of Thrones.
don't say it here. But
Not gonna, because the film's like 10 years old.
But I have.
And you're going to tell me how it compares to your one.
It's
Wait.
2 years old.
It's only 2 years old, the Danish one.
Yeah, it came out 2022.
Well, they should know better then. So the film goes, as we can see from the trailer of the other one. Do you know what? Whatever, spoiler alert, it's been out ages now.
Don't say the ending. The point of the film, yes, we know he's abusing that kid.
Can I say the ending of the Danish one? Because people probably aren't going to watch that.
No, because I would like to see it and see the difference. I've heard a podcast about it.
You'll cancel your Prime subscription. It's that bad.
It's so different from the James McAvoy one. And
you
the
know
James
how
McAvoy one
I don't
is
like endings without
pristine.
a resolution.
All right,
Yeah.
Which is why I
James
thought
McAvoy
Long Legs
one.
was stupid.
All right, McAvoy ones, there is a resolution.
Yeah, like Long Legs, no
Fucking
resolution. Finishes halfway through a film.
I love an ambiguous ending personally.
Yeah, me
There's
too. I said that.
ambiguous, and then there's just completely pointless.
As long as it's a reason. If it just ends bizarrely, like, But
Imagine
if there's
this.
a question mark,
This isn't what happens, but imagine if I filmed a film like this, right? You go through life taking all these hostages, like, and then one day you let them out and you go and shoot yourself in the head. And that's the end of the film. That's as stupid as the end of this film is.
That's quite intriguing, though, to be honest, because it's like, could you not deal with the guilt?
Okay, put it another way around. You're a serial killer, and one day decide, I can't bother to shoot yourself in the head. No, that's it. There's no storyline to it. This has no storyline at the last 10 minutes. It's ridiculous.
Right, you need to watch James McAvoy one because fuck me, it's good.
I will when it's free.
Every second of it is incredible.
That's like this one. It kind of keeps you gripped, and it's very tense. The acting is very good, bearing in mind who knows who they are. But it just all wraps up within like 10, 15 minutes at the end. And you're like, what have I just watched? It was so stupid.
None of that sounds like the McAvoy one. It's not
It's
a
just-
slow build up.
it's
It is
just
a slow
bad.
build up ish, but it's constant tension, and the ending is full on, and it's
It
quite
very
long.
much had Game of Thrones feel, where they almost had a storyline or books to follow.
We almost
So
had
the
a
last
story.
15 minutes. So the last series of Game of Thrones they made up, didn't they? I believe they didn't have any books left.
Yeah.
So this one was like, oh, there's 15 minutes left, but we're out of the original material, so you need to kind of just go with the flow. And they were like, oh, well, let's just do that then. And it was like, oh, so I just kind of wasted like just stupid movie.
Wait,
It's
actually,
just
hang
a
on.
bad film.
Did you finish the end of Monkey Man?
No, but I did watch a really good comedy, and you have to watch it. It's one of the best comedies of our generation.
Are you, James? Are you the kind of person that reads a book, like gets halfway through it and just puts it on a shelf and just doesn't like?
No, the problem was I rented Monkey Man, and then it ran out.
Oh, and it expired. But I thought it was one night.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
So
You're not
one of the
intrigued?
best
One day
comedies.
we'll all watch Monkey Man, so Drew doesn't have to talk about Monkey Man again.
Sorry to interrupt the show. Just a reminder to say we love and appreciate you all for listening to the podcast, whether it's on Spotify, Apple, or Amazon. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, follow, as this really helps us continue to progress and improve the content and keeps us making these fun episodes for you guys. Oh, we're also on these things called Instagram and TikTok. You can follow us there too, as we share short, funny reels on the reg that you can share with friends if you like. Now, back to the mayhem.
Yeah, if anyone wants to watch a
I'm
comedy,
curious about what you guys thought. I mentioned it like 50 episodes ago, and now
Yeah, but you saw it in the cinema, we missed it. I
yeah,
tried to
and now
see it,
one
but
and
it
now
was only
one
there.
and a half of us, one of us, two of us. I've seen it, and James has seen half of it.
yeah, it's
Not
all
even
right. It's
half of
nothing
it.
to
I
write
whinged
about.
about all the films you guys haven't watched that I keep wanting you to say. There'd be dozens.
If we do a watch along,
Catch up. Oh,
right? If we need to do one of these watch alongs at some point where us three are on a call and we're watching the movie and
Mate,
then
I'd
pausing
love
it to
to do something
comment.
like that. That would be cool.
we
But
can do a
I-
live recording on this, by the way.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
this is the
reactions.
film we need
Guys,
to
we
watch.
should do reactions to
Can I
trailers.
tell you
man.
what the greatest comedy of our generation is?
Nah, sounds rubbish. No,
You
go
know
on.
what it is?
Go on.
Best comedy of the last 5 years at least. Best one since mayhem.
Oh, okay, hang on, wait.
Let me check when it came out.
What?
Oh, so it's not a new one.
I think it is.
Give me one actor.
Give us a clue. Yeah, give us a clue.
Sorry, it came out in 2017. I wasn't aware of it. My bad.
Who's in it?
Give me an actor or a premise.
Who's
or
in
something
it?
We can guess.
Here we go. Jonathan Breck,
An actor that we know.
Stan Shaw.
Who?
What?
If you Google Stan Shaw, you'll know who he is.
No.
Yeah, you will.
Give us like a name that they give to the producers to get the money to make this.
Stan Shaw is the dad in Something About Mary.
Yeah, see? That's
Black
the biggest name in the film.
Yeah, but he's also in Schitt's Creek. He's the dad in Schitt's Creek as well.
No, he's not. What are you on about? No, that's American Pie, you donut. In
Oh,
Something About
shit.
Mary, it's the black guy.
Yeah. By the way, the film is, and
Cameron
I'm going to
Diaz
send
is
you
dead.
some videos of this afterwards, Jeepers Creepers 3.
It's the best comedy.
No, say that because that's the only thing on his list.
Wait,
It
you
is
say
an
Jeepers Creepers 3 is the best comedy of our
It's an
generation?
unintentional comedy.
You're
It's
not allowed
so
to talk anymore.
funny. Like, it's like, there's a scene in it, right? I kid you not. The creeper,
Is this the
it's like-
bus?
yeah,
The
he's got like a
I
van.
don't think it's called the Creeper.
There's like, no, it's called the creeper.
Creepers.
Yeah, the
Jeepers
creeper is.
Yeah, but the bad
Yeah, it's
guy's
called
not
the Creeper.
called the Creeper. It's just a monster, isn't it?
No, it's called the creeper. That's what his
Fuck
name
off,
is.
is it?
Okay, Google the cast. Matt, the guy plays the creeper.
Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those eyes from? That was cool.
Yeah. The
Jeepers
bad
Creepers,
guy's
where
called
do you get those peepers?
Yeah, the bad guy's
Jeepers
called the creeper.
Oh.
Okay,
Where'd you
and
get
there's a
those
scene in
eyes?
it when he is chasing some girl.
Yeah,
And-
into the field.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
it
gets
just quite
his wing hurt by his own truck. Then he's like throwing a spear, and it's like right by his eye, trying to throw it. He keeps missing and missing and missing. Then he runs into oncoming traffic and gets hit by a car. It's like an old school like Laurel and Hardy.
I did
And
enjoy
it's-
it. It was hilarious. It
There's
was
a
fun.
bit where he's running at some bloke in slow motion, and the guy's like maybe 50 meters away, and he's running for ages, and a guy's trying to fix something. Every time he cuts him, he's like still running, and then he jumps in the air, and he's like coming down like this. The guy's shooting him here, and he's coming down honestly like this
We can't
speed.
actually
Like
see that bit on the screen. I don't know. It's too small.
it's like, you know, the Michael Jordan advert where he jumps up and does Air Jordan, like in Space Jam. He does that dunk at the end. It's kind of like that. There's these guys that review films. I'll send it to you, and they're just in stitches.
Have you heard of
watching it.
Half a Packet of Crisps or whatever or something? Those guys do really funny reviews.
I'll send you the video of it afterwards, but it cracked me up. I had to watch the film afterwards. It's like, I've got to watch this film.
Go-
It's so ridiculous. It's like
Go-
almost they're talking about it being like, I'm never going to watch a film that's so disrespectful to the audience again.
Going
They're
back,
like, it had to be a comedy when they were filming it.
going back to what Kev said though about we can record things, right? We should record our reactions to trailers. I know we don't want to
Yeah, but I
watch
don't like
trailers.
watching trailers.
I'll have to figure out how to do stuff like that. We'll see how. I don't know if we can do that, but
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
really?
copyright and that. But that makes me laugh.
I
These
mean-
people on TikTok have shown parts of actual movies,
Yeah.
and they get. But saying that, the people that made Jeepers Creepers 3 probably just want the attention. Like, honestly, I flicked on these guys. They're so funny, like reviewing
flicked
stuff.
on these
They're
guys?
just like fuming.
I
They're like us, but better.
tell you what,
Oh.
listening back to episodes, I feel that when it's just us three,
It's rubbish.
I actually love
No.
it when it's us three because I feel that we can just go full blown and James
Oi, oi.
doesn't know how to pause or take a breath. But James is very respectful when it's guests section. And I
Only
think
if I like them, not like Gareth and that.
the most the most recent one, I thought that was really good. I think we pat all of ourselves on the back because I've listened back and I've talked over people and I hadn't realised, and everyone's done it. Even the guests have done it to us. But you
It's
know,
hard though.
they're the guests. We want them to talk. But yeah, I've last one we did was very, very good.
Well, I think the one we just did a sec. Well, you were talking about the one we just
Yeah.
did with
Aaron,
Aaron.
yeah,
Yeah.
Aaron
It
Green.
was informative. It was a pretty interesting thing that people could actually probably take something from for a change.
It was great.
Just a shame no one listens.
Well, I hope that inspiring talk he does to all those cinematographers that are listening, that'll help them.
I'll
right?
cut that as a
In
clip.
case
Might
you
be-
missed it, he said, "Don't bother."
I'll cut that clip because that was good. That was good.
That was really nice. That was well
Don't
inspiring.
bother. Stop trying to steal my work.
Do you know there's like two bits of movie news that have just come out today? I think. Well, not really today, but they've new
I haven't
trailers.
seen
have
any
come out
movie
today.
news.
No, there's been quite a few. Well, we've missed loads because we haven't talked about it. But
This is the movie news.
Sebastian Stan is in two new films, both
Oh
advertised
yeah,
at the moment. One's called A Different
Trump.
Man. What?
Trump.
Oh, three films then. Sorry, not two.
Is there a Trump movie coming out?
There's a Trump movie. There is a film called A Different Man, where it's that guy who's got the
Yeah, looks amazing.
that's got the face.
By this guy, do you mean the guy that plays the Winter Soldier?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, I keep
And-
seeing that trailer for the Elephant Man one. I can't work out. Is
Yeah.
he like hypnotized into thinking he looks like that actor, but really
No.
he doesn't? Or
I don't fully get the trailer. I've tried not to watch it, but
can we say perfect trailer? Because I'm intrigued by the
yeah,
trailer.
no, the man with the face,
Yeah.
with the interesting face, he takes a drug or something, and it makes him look better. So he ends up being Sebastian Stan is the after effect,
Wait, stop.
And
I
then-
thought it
and then
was
he comes back.
he
again.
gets the impression he looks like that guy, but really everyone else can see like a shallow Hal kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's quite like that. I think it's confusing enough to be intriguing, and I don't want to delve enough into
Because I was
it.
like, wouldn't it be interesting if they made it like the guy's like, oh, you can have this surgery, and in really reality, they hypnotize him or something into thinking he looks like that bloke. So he's
Yeah.
walking around his whole life thinking he's normal. Everyone's still treating him the same. There's bits in the film
I don't
where
think
he's
it's
looking
that.
like there's bits in the trailer where he's looking normal, and people are like side eyeing him and stuff.
Kev, do you
So I'm
think?
like, does he still look like that? But he just thinks he doesn't. Like in Saw,
Drew's trying
when
to
they
speak. You don't know.
Sorry, let him carry
Oh,
on.
no,
He's
but
on.
a similar sort of thing to Jigsaw, where they convince him his brain tumor's gone, but it's not.
Oh yeah,
But-
yeah.
That sort of thing. I thought they were getting at.
I was just going to say, sorry, fucking ridiculous. I was going to say, Kev, do you think that you saw that trailer at face value?
Oh,
That's why we talk over you, Drew.
I was trying to like actually get in depth about how I thought a film was, and you were waiting for that one.
Right, new rule. Just
That
keep
trailer's only skin deep. Yeah, no, it's fine.
No. What the premise I got from it, and it could be wrong, is that the guy with the deformed face, he gets some cure or whatever it is, and he turns into Sebastian Stan. So he's trying to get used to people giving him attention for a positive way, and he's building his confidence. He's feeling attractive. Women are talking to him, and then he's off living his life. And then the person he used to be with the deformed face comes into his life as a new person. Like it's like a doppelganger. Like maybe he was separated, and that person still exists in a different way, like a clone. And he comes back, but when he comes back, he's not the scared person that's embarrassed of his face and shy. He knows he's got the face, but he's confident. He's just like doing karaoke. He's loving it, and it's him trying to reconcile what the fuck is going on.
Do you know how I read it? Very similar, but on my point,
Vanilla Sky.
He thinks he looks like that bloke, so he's then not thinking that he's horrible. So then he's connecting with people. They can still see he's like whatever, but he's like, oh, they're obviously talking to me now because I'm like whatever. He hasn't got that like I don't want to talk to people, and that's why he's enjoying all the karaoke because he still looks like that. He's never changed. They've like tricked him.
It could
That's
be. Yeah,
what I
we're
thought it
seeing
was,
it
and he's
too.
always like. But when he looks in a mirror, he's always because they make a lot of references to him looking at a reflection.
Because it could be our perspective that they're playing with there. Yeah, but I mean,
They make a lot of. There's a lot of references in the trailer where he's looking in a reflection, or if someone's like giving him a funny eye, even when he is looking like the actor rather than the big face guy.
Yeah, but I think that's a good message for people. It's that it doesn't matter what you like, what you look like. Confidence is massive.
That's what I thought they were going for because it's a very clever trailer that made me think I actually really want to watch that.
Well, a lot of people were saying that about the Deadpool thing, that people that had kind of like burnt victims or people that had certain conditions with their skin, they were saying
now superheroes.
What?
They're now superheroes. He said.
Well, no,
and red masks and covered up their face.
Well, no, but they like Deadpool because like he's confident and he just embraces who he is, and it's like he's got some serious cojones, you know.
Looks like a ball sack.
Cojones.
Looks like an avocado that shagged another avocado in a very violent way.
So what does he say? Hate fucked another avocado.
Yeah.
A moldy one.
You look like an avocado that was abused by an avocado.
Yeah,
and he meant it. He meant it.
Sebastian,
that film looks awesome. I can't wait for that one.
Like you said about Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is back in Thunderbolts. The new trailer came out today.
Yeah, isn't the Russian girl? She's obviously not Russian. She's English, but she's the Russian actor, the Russian person.
Yeah.
Wait, Scarlett Johansson?
No,
her
she's
sister.
dead.
Her sister.
Oh, Florence Pugh.
Yeah, she's back in it with a ropey Russian accent.
Yeah,
Florence Pugh.
Dennis Hopper.
Yeah, no one cares about Thunderbolts. Let's
Dennis
be honest.
Quaid. Looks good. I'm surprised it looks good.
Dennis Quaid.
No, the big guy from Stranger Things.
I tell you, I did see a trailer of for the first time earlier.
Darren.
And I think it looks quite good.
Go on.
Is Craven.
Oh, with Aaron Taylor.
That looked better than I thought it would. I saw a trailer.
I think it's going to be a flop because Craven is a relatively unknown superhero, and there's a common denominator with these unknown superhero movies flopping.
Oh, ignore a superhero. I saw. Now I've seen the original Craven trailer like fucking a year ago, where it's him just jumping through a window,
way better now.
Looking like superhero,
brutal.
And it looks shit. I was like, fuck that. I'm ignoring it. A couple of weeks ago, I was in the cinema and I saw this trailer for this film, and it was a drama with Aaron Taylor Johnson. I was like, this looks good. What's this? And it was only the last 20 seconds of this 2-minute trailer that it went a bit batshit, and a wolf appeared, and someone morphed.
Oh no, this is Disney's second R-rated film. It looks
so good,
graphic.
Have
you seen the scene where they're trying to catch him and they put bear traps in, and there's a shot in the trailer where he picks up a bear trap and slams it into someone's face? And there's another scene where he grabs like this person with this like rope around his legs and pulls him and smashes him into like a tree stump. It's Disney's second R-rated film. full on R-rated they're going with it,
That's
I
what you
think,
were
as well.
I was never going to watch that, and now I want to see it in the cinema.
It looks really graphic. Like, not like Deadpool comedy graphic. It looks
No.
like it could be like full on horror movie graphic.
But
As far as like, it's not going to be a horror, it's going to be an action, but the violence is going to be
It
up
seems
there.
like a good film, which is shocking to say because I think Oliver's probably dismissed it months ago. But the new trailer is like a drama, thriller. Nothing's mental, nothing's weird superhero-y until the end. So
He's
I'm
just got a
assuming
lot of
it's-
strength, and he's kind of overpowered, but there's nothing superhero-y.
Yeah.
He's overpowered in the same sense Batman is.
Oh, Drew, when I said Dennis Hopper, I meant to say David Harbour.
Ah, yeah, that's an easy mistake to make.
Different human
Can we
being.
go back to this Trump thing then? I'm excited about that also.
I bet you are.
You won't like it because I'm not sure it favours him because he's a knobhead. So
as long as it's not wokey
it's not
nonsense.
a pro-Trump film. It's a
Well, it's-
realistic Trump film. Therefore,
An
it's
actual
got-
proper movie though.
Yeah, it's got the guy from Succession is playing the guy that's kind of like egging him on.
Is this like a cinema movie?
his inspiration.
Yeah. But it's like
Surely,
a
like,
satirical.
It's called The Apprentice.
It's like
There is a thing
satirical-
called slander. Like, you can't go over too much.
No, but it is. It's
Well, no,
full
it's
of like
true.
satirical piss take kind of.
Oh, okay.
I tell you what, when I watched the trailer, it felt like the person that did Rough Diamonds, Gem.
Oh, I know what you mean. The Adam Sandler one.
Yeah,
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
Uncut
yeah,
Gems, yeah.
the Sadie brothers or whatever it is, the Sadi. Fucking hell, what is it with me and
Can we
Derek?
just quickly say
Close every
Trump
time,
has got
but so
jokes?
far.
The
You
Sardine
know-
brothers.
Did you hear Trump the other day? He has got jokes. Like, you know, there was a second assassination attempt at his golf course.
Yeah, it didn't get as much.
Yeah, no, he was on a talk show a couple of days ago, and the guy was like, "Have you played much golf lately?" He's like, "I haven't been really focusing on my swing as of late." And he's like, "I've always said golf is a dangerous sport." It's like he's just got jokes, hasn't he?
What was he saying about everyone's eating dogs and everyone's eating cats? I missed that. But I keep
Yeah, that
seeing
was
the
the
meme.
thing that was kind of blown out of proportion. That there was actually reports of it, and there are videos of it, but
What?
Where?
In which country?
in America,
Where?
What?
I can send you them if you want.
No,
more
I don't
importantly,
want that image.
I think the best one going around at the moment is completely forget about Trump. Forget about him, right? Kamala Harris is mental. Did you see they let Joe Biden out?
I
again
can just
yesterday?
say that was blown out of proportion as well, because that's your excuse.
No, even on Oprah. She was on the Oprah Winfrey show, who is her number one person. You could see Oprah as being like, "Oh God, I just want to like get under the table." It's so bad.
Wait, why are people eating cats and dogs? Is that just because the world is so bad right now they can't afford like baked beans?
Probably
they're
video I
eating
saw
their
was a person actually. Oh wait, did you see they let Joe Biden out again yesterday? You know he's been locked away.
They let him out like he's
You know
he's
he's been
grounded.
locked away because he says stupid stuff.
He's been grounded.
Yeah, when was the last time you saw him? They swapped him for Kamala, didn't they?
They swapped him out.
Well, that's literally what they did. They swapped him out for
Yeah,
Kamala.
but you
Harris.
make it seem like they're characters in South Park. They just swapped him out.
It is
for-
like a TV show. So they let him out to do a thing to introduce. He was doing something with like the Indian Prime Minister. So he's on the stage, and this is yesterday. You can Google it. Just like Biden forgets who he's bringing up, and he's stood on the stage, and he's like, "Who's coming out next?" He's like, "Who?" And then he gets really arsy. He's like, "Who is coming out?" And this bloke sat behind him. And then you hear this woman scrambling to get a microphone going, "And please welcome the president of India," or whatever. He just stands up, and Biden's like, "Who? Who am I meant to say?" It's like, for God's sake. Just put him back in the cupboard for another 6 years.
Oh god! Give him some bourbon biscuits.
It's so bad, yeah.
Sit
Oh,
down.
and then you've got Mike, is it Tim Waltz? He's the guy running with Kamala for Vice, isn't he? He keeps forgetting that Kamala Harris has been, and the Democrats have been in power for 4 years. They keeps forgetting that because he did a speech the other day being like, "We can't have another 4 years of this." It's like, no, you're in power. You're not meant to say that. You're meant to, because their whole shtick is they're trying to fix the economy, even though they've been in power the last 4 years. It's like, that doesn't work like that. You're meant to say you're going to keep getting better, not the last 4 years have been awful. It's like, No, stop saying that. Bunch
You
of
know, my
idiots.
favorite thing to talk about is not politics.
It's just
Yeah.
funny. Like, it's just funny how stupid they are
But
over
you
there. Like,
remember,
from
Kev,
all sides.
America is James's favorite show.
It's the
Yeah.
best show ever. This is my favorite season as well.
Reality show.
It's my favorite season. It's the
What
best
season
one.
are you on? What season are you on of America?
2024 is the best season of America ever.
Is Kiefer Sutherland in that
It's
season?
so good.
It's
I'll
only
send you some clips later. I'll leave it at this. This is just one thing I'll leave it at. Kamala is like a drone that's running out of batteries. So she says the same things over and over again. So she gets asked on how are you gonna bring down cost of living, all this stuff, and then she just starts reeling off this story. She does it all the time on all these different shows. Going, well, I grew up in a neighborhood, the people that worked in healthcare and firefighters, and they were really proud of their lawn. And my mum, she saved up her money, and when I was a teenager, she bought her own house. You know. And they're like, well, I've
Misdirection.
asked you how you're going to bring the economy down. And there's like another one that does the same. And it's got Trump versus Kamala, same question. Trump's like, well, energy for one, because whether you're making donuts or cars, you need to reduce the cost of energy. So that's something we need to bring down. And he was like, we need to get our farmers back to their best because that will obviously help the economy, cost of food and other. And it comes to Kamala again, same question. This is on Oprah Winfrey as well, her biggest like advocate. And she's like, my mother saved up really hard and, she bought our house when I was only a teenager, so we all as Americans need to, be as one. And they're like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, it's just like, she has the same script over and over again. It's fun. I'll send you the videos. It is funny.
Has everyone watched Killing Eve?
Never. I watched one
Yeah.
episode and I thought it was quite boring. But
Whoa.
So here's
I know.
my one quote from that conversation. Boring. No offense. Just
Kev loves
politics
Star
bores
Wars.
me, especially Trump and Kamala. Jesus. Have you not seen Killing Eve where she does that? There's like a scene where they're in like a library or a church and they're having a secret covert conversation about who they're about to murder. And she just goes, "Oh!"
It's Jodie Comer, isn't it? She does
so
it.
good.
Yeah,
And that was
she's
ad-libbed.
We've got it just as bad over here, to be fair. A bunch of Muppets running the place, haven't we? But
So anyone seen a couple of new things on like Netflix? Because there's one thing
I want to watch the new one with
about to say,
the
let me
two
say it.
brothers.
Bingo, that's what I'm going to say.
Wow. Here is our recommendation of what to watch this week.
So there's two things I've watched, and I think you're going to be not bothered about one, interested in the other. First one's The Perfect Couple with
Me and Drew. Oh,
Liv Schreiber.
What are you saying? That's not even words.
That
Nicole-
it. Liv
Nicole
Schreiber. Leave Schreiber.
Nicole Kidman.
No, I can say Nicole
could have
Kidman.
been any worse.
I can say Nicole Kidman. That wasn't me trying to say Nicole
program
Kidman.
with Nicole Kidman. What are you saying?
You, the other guy, her husband. I can
Oh,
say
his
Nicole.
name.
Hang on.
I can say Nicole Kidman. You try and say his name.
Okay, I'll do it. Ready? Ready? Matt Damon.
No.
I don't know what you were trying to say because I don't know his name.
Well, there you go. Me neither.
Nicole.
He was.
Yeah, do you want me to show
plays
you
Ray
two
Donovan.
things that make you jealous?
He plays
The
Ray
Perfect
Donovan.
Couple.
Go on, say his name.
Oh, Lee Schreiber.
There you go.
No, he plays Cotton Weary.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
He's
Lee
a very
Schreiber.
handsome man. I didn't realize how handsome he was until he was in this role. He's playing the handsome
Dude,
man in the role.
He's very handsome in Ray Donovan, man.
Yeah.
Kev,
Well,
do you want to take a trip back down memory lane?
one sec. Let's bring it up in a second. Let's finish this one train, then we'll bring.
Let's just
what you're
enjoy
about.
the handsomeness of Liv Schreiber.
This was a good program, except the very ending just ended. It just ended, and I was like, "Where's the next episode?"
Oh,
And
that's
there
kind of
wasn't one.
how that film ends.
I was like,
Kev, you
wait a
said you
minute.
love ambiguity.
No, there was a conclusion, but the conclusion was like, "Oh, that happened. That's who did it." But we haven't solved all the other. Basically, it's a family with loads of issues happening, rich family, and when the final person gets caught, there's about 20 issues that are unresolved. I'm like, yeah, but okay, now we'll find out how that happens or how this happened. Nothing. I was like,
Season
you kidding
2.
me? It's
Season
got
2.
to be. Well, Nicole, there is a bit at the ending that suggests there might be, but there might not be. But the program to watch at the moment is what James said, is the Monsters series
I'm
on.
gonna start it tonight.
Is everyone watched the Dharma series?
Love it.
That was amazing.
So good, right?
Yeah.
This
It's
one,
messed up that we're saying that because obviously real people were, but I know what you mean.
but the acting was incredible.
Yeah,
I mean,
that guy, well, he was nominated, dude. He won, didn't he?
in Dharma, there was 2 episodes that I felt were unnecessary in the middle. It was a bit boring, a bit drawn out, but the beginning and the ending were phenomenal.
Guys, can we just talk about episode 4, though, how clever it was, where they get you to fall in love with the
Can't remember
main...
which episode was which.
Episode 4 has got...
It's
it's
drinking the blood. I was like, ugh.
Well, no, episode 4 is the main... It's a sweet black guy that I think he's deaf, and he's sitting with his family, and he's signing, and he then becomes...
He actually thinks he does like him, yeah. They actually are kind of in love, yeah.
Yeah, but then they go to a gym. Yeah, he's like a gym instructor.
Then you
or something.
remember he's a psycho killer. Guess
Yeah,
what I say?
But that's the thing that I'm saying is heartbreaking. They set it up so we really care about this protagonist.
He genuinely thinks he's leaving, doesn't he? But he's not.
Yeah, and he's packing his bags and he's leaving his family and he's
I know
falling in love, and then he becomes like literally food, and it's like whoa.
Yeah, I think that story was more full on and interesting in that sense. I mean, it's horrible to say it's interesting, but we're
they missed loads of stuff out on that. Like that story was probably
it's a story, and
60% as horrendous as the actual thing was.
Yeah, but it's not even accurate. Not everything's accurate. So this series is being called into disrepute by people involved who said
it will be.
a lot of fake stuff. Like this new one, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story, the 2 kids that killed their
Well, they're
parents.
dramatizations, aren't they?
Exactly. They've come out and said that this is bullshit. None of this is real, and they're still fighting for the freedom. So they're gonna say that. So you got to take that with a pinch of salt itself. But it's so good. Like the crime is not as bad as Dahmer's. Obviously, they've just killed 2 people, their parents. That's rather than eating loads of people. But he's it's so well done. It's funny in a couple of episodes. You will piss yourself laughing. There's a song played by Milli Vanilli all the way through.
Wasn't really Milli Vanilli.
A really terrible song.
Girl,
Yeah. And they keep playing that, and there's a scene where they're like imagining how they're going to get away with it, and it's like, look, we'll escape, we'll go and get plastic surgery, and we'll change our looks and go abroad. And they come out this room, and they've got fake lips and long hair, and I was like, that looks like Milli Vanilli. And I googled it, and then I realized that that's the song they're playing as well. So it's like an inside joke.
One thing that's worth bringing up is I get a lot of the time where their things might have been exaggerated what they did. And when we watched that Bruce Lee documentary, go back to it, and he broke his back getting ninja kicked. In reality, he broke it lifting weights in the YMCA. They dramatize it to make it more effective. Dharma is the only biopic I've ever seen where they completely watered down what was done to make it way less worse than what actually happened.
Yeah, and the watered down version's horrific. But
because
then again,
you know what happens in real
so
life.
was the Iron Claw. The Iron Claw was watered down because there was another brother that wasn't even mentioned.
Well, Drew, you know what happened? What Dharma actually did, the main thing he did was he hand drilled into people's skulls and poured acid and stuff into their brain to make zombies.
Oh, yeah.
There's a movie there's actually a Jeffrey Dahmer movie from a long time ago where one of the scenes he does the drill and he ejects acid, whatever he ejects into them, and the person gets out and they're kind of walking around like a zombie in the street, and they walk into a police officer and he ends up coming out similar to the scene in the thing where that guy's really drunk and drugged. But instead of that, he's been drilled into his... I'm pretty sure they don't do that on the one that's on Netflix.
Yeah, there's one of those scenes where the guy's outside and he thinks... that's the guy that you saying we fall in love with.
But he's really drunk and drugged, isn't he?
He kind of escapes and they say...
He's it's my boyfriend. But in real life, he drilled into people's heads and created these zombies, these sex zombies or whatever. I think you call them sex zombies, whatever. He's a horrible guy. But that was the only time where I think that would have been a step too far for Netflix. They probably would have got some complaints for that one.
I don't know.
Because people were complaining about the drink and blood scene. Because that actually made me wrench a bit.
Yeah, but they should have just gone full for... We know what we're about to watch. If you're offended watching it, don't watch it.
I'm pretty sure
things I really need to bring up this episode.
At the beginning, it says, do not watch this if you are... it gives you... It says graphic.
If you're scared of being eaten alive.
I need to bring up two things this episode. One is a disappointment, and one is a vote.
Okay.
First of all, is a
We've
vote.
still got more to talk about on that. Space
Love
Raider.
'em.
Yes, please.
Whoa, both though.
Please.
That's hard.
Transformers Snacks got resurgence with Transformers 1, which looks hilarious, by the way.
Nice.
But mate, those two crisps, like proper good old nostalgic crisps.
Kev, have you seen the trailer for Transformers 1 yet?
Yeah.
10p.
It looks so funny, doesn't it, when he lands and his wheels come out afterwards.
What was your point about the crisps?
I was
But
saying
that is,
vote.
was that voting?
Yeah.
Both.
I'd go Space Raiders.
Okay.
Space
That's all I
Invaders.
need to know.
I like Space Raiders. Invaders?
Right. So with the Kyle, and I won't go into it. You watch it. There's like one episode that's the camera doesn't move for 30 minutes.
Like
And
Irreversible.
Really?
No,
Oh,
not like
disgusting movie. I
Irreversible
watched that
anyway.
again the other day, but
It's
couldn't get
just-
through it.
It's horrible. But it's the things they talk about in this. Although Dharma is visually and more disturbing, the Kyle and the Lyle and Eric Menendez story. If you watch that, there's a couple of episodes which will be so tough to watch. So tough. You won't visually see anything. It's them describing things. It will make you feel very uncomfortable and very ill. So do watch it. It's very good. I enjoyed it.
On that note,
We watched all
I
9
need to-
episodes in 3 days, three
Yeah.
episodes a day, and loved it. But it's tough.
it's hard. Yeah.
I need to bring something up that I'm a bit disappointed with. A film that I'm really excited
Changing
to
the
see.
subject, because if we're changing the subject, can I just add one more thing onto this before
Yeah.
we move off? Right, you know Monsters, that's the title of the series.
Yep.
Dharma and that. Have you heard there's a new one coming out?
No.
So there's a third one now.
Please say it's John Wayne Gacy or someone.
Ed Gein, who the guy who butchered people. He's one of the earliest serial killers. So
Okay.
I think Dahmer worshipped him, and other people worshipped him because he's the one that worked in. It was like a farmer and like stringed people up, and I think he ate them as
Jesus.
well. He's like.
Well,
one
can I
of the
say
bad
there's a
guys.
film called Gacy on Prime? It's an excellent movie, and it's filmed from the perspective of the kid that lived over the road. So seeing him take these people into the house, you never really see anything. It's one of them films, but it's a
Yeah.
very good movie because John Wayne Gacy was pretty. They found like 30 bodies under his house, and he was like, I don't know how they got there.
Yeah,
It's like, oh.
the documentary about him is really good. But
So
this,
I do need to bring up the film that kind of wound me up with its latest trailer
Go on.
because it's gone a bit pop, as in like it's gone poppy. It was like
Very poppy.
underground, grim, whatever. Now it's gone full pop culture, and that is the new trailer for Terrifier 3. And
well, I've
You
not
don't
seen.
look happy.
It's
You
not-
don't look
I've only
happy.
seen the one by the Christmas tree. I haven't seen
no,
the new
do
one.
you know why it looks
But it's in the
poppy and
cinemas.
cack?
They're advertising it in Cineworld. They did
Yeah.
a double bill of Terrifier 1 and 2.
But do you know what makes me think it's gone full teeny bopper? Do you know who's in it?
Go on.
As a chef, I believe.
Oh,
LL Cool J.
Chris
that famous
Jericho.
chef, LL Cool J.
Chris,
LL Cool J was a chef in Deep Water, Dark Water. Deep Water.
No, this person isn't even an actor.
Go on then.
Chris Jericho.
Who?
Didn't I tell you he was in the first one?
Chris Jericho's not in the first one.
Yeah, he is.
As what?
At the very end. Remember I told you and you didn't stay to the very end.
But putting something like a WWE wrestler in there, it's like,
He's in the first one. He's one of the, you know, the woman that gets put in the mental room
yeah.
who was attacked first. She's at the very end, and he's one of the nurse orderlies.
I don't
And
even
that's where
recall
she has-
that bit.
That's where she has the baby, and the baby is I think the little girl in the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
so
the
she's in
trailer
it.
for it makes it look a bit corny. It doesn't look like.
They are corny though.
Yeah, but they're corny, but like, bleh. This one just looks pure cheese.
Yeah, but I don't
Maybe
think they're
it's just a
scary
bad
at
trailer.
all. They're all cheese.
There's
They're all
No,
cheese.
but it looks like claw cheese and like rubbish, like Human Centipede 3 cheese.
Human Centipede 3 cheese. That's a t-shirt.
But like, it kind of takes away from the whole shock value of it. Is it going to be like watered down because it's now coming into cinemas and stuff?
No, apparently, well, every film says this sort of stuff, but apparently it's got one of the worst scenes in any film ever.
The
Even
bedroom scene was
Terrifier.
pretty horrendous.
They've
Let's be
said it's
honest.
worse than that scene. That's the one they've said it's
Have you
worse.
seen the film that Art the Clown did before, like The Babysitter or something?
Yeah.
Well, I say
Chris
Art the
Jericho.
Clown. He's not a real person, but like
Chris
the Art the Clown.
Jericho's in Terrifier 2. He's at the very
Really?
end. Yes. Like
Honestly,
I said,
do
that
not
woman-
recall that at all.
that woman with a deformed face
Yeah,
that got
when
killed
she
in the
kills
first
that
one.
reporter, doesn't she?
Yeah, it's her in a room going crazy, and she has a baby, and the baby comes out with like Art's face and starts
Yeah,
attacking.
I remember that.
Yeah, that's Chris Jericho's the other side of the wall. Just
I'll be
chatting
honest with you,
up
maybe
the
I was
wall.
paying so much attention to that, I didn't even notice him as a person there.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned to you because I was like, that's a guy you would have known.
So watch the trailer for Brothers.
No.
With Josh Brolin and Peter Dinklage and a crazy cast of people, actually. You've got Brendan Fraser. God, you've got Glenn Close. Like, it looks insane.
Yeah,
and then, I don't know if
Marissa
you guys
Tomei
seen
as
this,
well.
mate, Mickey 17 looks mind-blowing.
Yeah,
The new Bon Joon-ho, the guy who did Parasite.
Robert Pattinson, and
Yeah, playing like it looks a little bit like Moon with do you remember Sam Rockwell? Spoiler alert, where there's versions of him, so to speak. Mickey 17, James. Check out
Well,
the trailer.
I saw a new A24 trailer earlier, but I can't remember what it was.
Oh mate, it's got Toni Collette in it. Mark
Yeah.
Ruffalo,
Hey,
Yeah.
what's the new A24 film? I
and-
saw a trailer earlier.
Naomi Aki from
Yes, blink twice.
Blink Twice.
Kev,
Yeah.
what's the new A24 trailer?
One sec, let's have a look. I think that's the one with the face I mentioned earlier. That's the newest one.
Kev, get closer, get closer.
Yeah, that's the one the one with the face I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, your volume was a bit. You sound
a
like
different man. A different man's the new A24.
your volume's great when your face is there. Your volume is great.
I'm going to pause. I'm going to go for a loo break.
Yeah, I feel like I need a wee actually. I'm not going to go, obviously, because then that's me technically going in my trousers. I'm just going to wait till.
Man, just go.
Just go, man. You were there, man. You were there, man.
Warm.
No, don't talk about things like that. I presume this will fizzle out naturally. This episode.
Oh, we'll
I'm
fizzle.
hoping this will fizzle out before I fizzle out downstairs.
Yeah.
I am an older man now, so it's harder to hold these things in.
You're still the youngest man in the room.
I am still the youngest man in the room.
Yeah, so don't worry about it, mate.
That was so funny. The other day, somebody was trying to guess my age, and they were like, "Oh, you're the same age as like this guy called Nick, right?" And I was like, "How old's Nick?" And they were like, "Oh, I think he's like 30, 32." And then I just kept going like this, like pointing up, and they're like, "What? No." And I was like, "Up." I was like, they couldn't. I was like, this is my lockdown beard. These greys came from lockdown.
I still sometimes get a decade younger, so I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, dude. But I always said you've got that, you're lucky that you've got that kind of youthful face. Like you've got, not like a baby face, but you've got a very youthful face. When I look at, you don't have the, like the seagull eyes. You don't have the crow feet. Seagull eyes? Crow feet. We don't really have the crow feet.
I don't think so.
I can crow feet it here, but on a normal, look at that.
Moisturizer every day.
Look at that. It's like, there's crow feet, uncrow feet. Crow feet, where are my crow feet, missing feet. Yeah, it's,
Other tips to the listeners, if you're getting old or feeling old, just use moisturizer every day.
Yeah, guys, yeah. But I've heard, drink plenty of water, guys. Seriously, drink plenty of water. These are our health tips from Kevin Drew while James wheeze.
Tell you what, the most I think, yeah, James will like this film, I think. Oh, before flitting around everywhere now. I've just finished.
Go on, use your words. Go
on. Disney Plus, there's a program called In Vogue, just about Vogue, the magazine, supermodels and the modeling industry and fashion and how it's all moved in the last sort of 30, 40 years. Really interesting. I really like that sort of stuff. It's very, very good.
Have you seen Them? This psychological thriller thing that Sarah's watching at the moment on, I think it's on Netflix. It's called Them.
What's that got to do with In Vogue? What do you mean?
Well, no, it's just like a TV series, though. It's like a twisted, messed up, dark psychological thriller. It's got nothing to do with Vogue. It doesn't have to link. You just
That's cool.
no, but listen. You just went
so abrupt. I was like,
no, but no. You just did. I interrupt you? Sorry, were you finished?
yeah. I just thought I'd mention it before I mentioned the next thing.
Well, no, but that's like so. You go, here's a TV series, and then if my TV series doesn't link with yours, you're like, that doesn't. And I'm like, yeah, but it's another TV series.
Yeah, Them is old. Well, it's not old. It's a few years old. It was on a different TV show.
But mate, holy shit. Have you seen it? Like, it is so well filmed. It's so fucking scary. Brilliantly acted. Amazing kind of like the way it's been directed and written. Like,
yeah, I've seen that. That was on Now TV 3 years ago.
okay.
Or something. So it's just come onto Netflix. I've noticed Netflix starting taking stuff. It was on
Yeah, because
Prime.
I was watching I've just been watching a few episodes of it, but it's you know it's a really well done kind of scary thriller when you're watching it during the day. It's daylight outside, but you're still shitting yourself. You're like, this is really scary. Like the way that it's shot, and again, kind of like what Aaron was saying, the way that the camera takes you somewhere, like you're watching like water drip from a tap, and it's slowly going towards a window, and you're like, I don't like this. I don't like this. You're like, what is going to come through the window? You know, it's like,
yeah,
Jimmy Savile
comes in at the appropriate time.
perfect.
I was going to say about the most recent film I watched. I'm not going to tell you much about it.
What did we watch this week? On Cinema Selection.
But I saw The Substance at the weekend.
Oh yeah, it looks good. Looked good. You sold that to us, to me anyway.
Shit.
Was that the cinema? Or did you watch it streaming?
Cinema, and I felt dirty watching it at the cinema.
Oh,
really? The cinema's
we
getting
having a pot
edgy,
noodle.
isn't it?
We having a pot noodle when you watched it.
Watching it like at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock in the morning, and
Do you feel like the cinema's getting a bit edgier, getting closer to that, like films that maybe wouldn't have used to make at cinema?
as I'm saying, this had a lot of nudity, and I'm talking Poor Things seemed like a child's program compared to what The Substance is when it comes to explicit content, and the violence was
it looked obscene violence.
The concept's amazing, and it's just all over the place. And the cinematography specifically is so cool with the way it's shot. It's so glossy and high end 1 minute, and then dirty and grimy the next, and then it goes into real practical effects on horrific stuff towards the end.
Do you think films like that and the Kate Winslet one will be quick to stream because they're not very well publicised, maybe?
Literally everything's quick to stream, but you have to pay for it. You know,
I hadn't even heard of The Substance, so you said it.
Well, like you said, Deadpool Wolverine will be on Disney, but that's because as soon as that graph starts to dip, how do they keep it going? Get it on streaming, push it back up again.
Get it in front of more eyes. But you know what's interesting? I think what you were saying, Kev, that, you know, we'd be talking about certain topics that need to be tackled by society. It seems like more...
Sorry, hold on. Yeah, Blink Twice. Blink Twice is on Prime, so's Trap, and so's Bad Boys.
Borderlands. Seems like the other day we saw that.
Yeah, but James, watch Blink Twice, man. We need to talk about that. But what I was going to say was, these subjects that we talk about, the subject matter connected to the substance is so powerful, because we were talking only the other day, I think with Liv actually, talking about magazines and makeup and how the world or the makeup industry is trying to make people feel like they're not good enough, or that, look, age is something that we can't reverse. Like, it's happening. We just have to embrace it. But the idea that the powers that be try to make you feel bad or guilty about it, it's like, no. But that film is picking up on the idea that, you know, we're not good enough unless we look good enough. And especially from the female standpoint, especially from the idea that if you're a TV host, or like you're in the public eye, the expectation of how you need to look is huge, and that becomes a psychological kind of anxiety infused.
The irony is they use Demi Moore, who's 62 and looks incredible.
I was going to say, yeah.
Incredible.
Can I say what's really clever about that whole shtick of that film? Is remember, I think it was me and you, Drew, was sat in the cinema, and we genuinely thought it was an advert for like Hulu or like a TV app or something. And because she's like watching the TV, it comes up with some like whatever it is, and I was, it's an advert for a new streaming site or something.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until the very end we were like, oh wait, that's actually a new film.
Yeah.
How clever is that?
Yeah, that was really clever. It was really well. Again, when we talk about this year, we talk about films. I think films have been really well publicized. So, like, you think about Longlegs. I know we didn't necessarily massively enjoy the film, but you got to admit the way
it was overhyped. It was a victim of overhypeness.
Yeah, but look at the way that how good advertising is getting. So, Longlegs was brilliantly advertised.
End of the day, it made us go and pay to watch it, didn't it?
Yeah, Alien Romulus was incredibly well advertised, and now you look at the substance. Deadpool Wolverine, but they're very, the marketing elements for this year alone, I think, have been very clever, and I think that's a great way to get people back into cinema as we constantly
just a quick one to throw this out there.
Go on.
That Blink Twice, you can rent it for 16 quid, or you can
buy it cinema,
or you can buy it for 20. That's clever from Amazon because no one's renting that film, are they? They're getting that extra 4 quid from millions of people.
Yeah, maybe. I guess they've done the popcorn trick. They've done the popcorn trick with a film, haven't they? They're like, do you want the large or the small?
I'm not going to pay 20 quid for it, to be fair. I'll wait till it's
more
like
than £4 or £4.50.
I'll wait till it's on a sale because I'm not paying 20 quid to watch a film like in my house.
£4.50 is my cut-off for any Prime film.
Do you know what's interesting though? When I was chatting to Kev after I watched Blink twice, I was like, I don't think I'll ever watch that film again. But actually, I really want to watch it again from a different standpoint of when you know.
I'm really excited to watch it. So that's one of the films I'm super excited about.
I think it's incredible. I think, though, but I'll be honest, Kev. I think it's gone a bit under the radar. If I'm honest, like I don't think it's actually had. I know that we appreciated it, and you look at a couple of reviewers that said like this is a standout kind of direct debut, but on the mainstream level, it's gone under the radar, man.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I think it did.
And also,
well,
mate, in cinemas, though, no, hear me out. In cinemas, it was a film that only had 2 screenings per day, whereas you think about mainstream stuff has like if you think of like Beetlejuice has got like almost like
completely different. Yeah, the market.
No, I know. But Blink Twice is a kind of niche film. But my point is, it hasn't had the same like exposure of
and it probably shouldn't, because everyone should not go and see Blink Twice because it will traumatize them. But everyone should see Beetlejuice because it'll make them laugh. But it did do more. it doubled its profit. It cost 20 million, and it made about 44 million. Which is not a huge.
It'll make more on Amazon, but I think one thing you guys should start doing is one thing I do is I know you're not into video games and stuff, but rate films like video game releases, like because how video games come out, you have indie titles which are your A24 studios, you have your general releases which is your Blink Twice. People you know about, you kind of know the franchise, you know the person, you go, it's like might be worth a flyer, and then you get AAA titles, and the AAAs are things like FIFA, Call of Duty, which would be like your Deadpool Wolverine, your Dune. They're like the AAA titles. They're always guaranteed to do well. Then you got the mid carders, and then which will be like for video games, it would be like I don't know.
Guys, I feel like I need to pee twice because I've been holding this in for so long. I need to
wrap up in a second anyway.
Yeah, so you've got mid-cards, then you've got like your A24s, which are like the indie ones. So
you're in control.
I'm going to pee. I'll put my hand up like, Miss, can I please leave I need to leave the classroom and just...
You just go.
I think films are very much like that. You get the AAA titles that are guaranteed to get bums on seats. Then you get the mid-carders that are like... People will go and watch it because they know who the celebrity is. And then you get the ones where you're like, oh, I'm not really too sure about this, but I'm kind of intrigued. I might give it a go. And they end up like being amazing. Which is very much how movies work.
But like, you were saying before about after sales, like in the 90s and early 2000s and 80s and whatever, they didn't have to do well in the cinema because VHS was much
That's the
bigger.
beauty of back then, which is why they can't really
But
take the
it is
risk, which is why
happening now.
A24
It's
and stuff
happening
like that
now.
is so good.
No, it's happening now. Prime is charging you 16 quid to see a film,
Well, yeah, now
which
it's
is
starting
cheaper
to
than going to
happen.
the cinema.
Now that's only been like the last year or so. Prime
Yeah,
have
but
had that
that's
quick
what I mean.
turnaround.
It's happening now. You could always buy films, but they were like 2 years behind.
Oh no,
Right
what I'm saying
now-
is only been recently that
I
Prime have
know, that's what I'm
ramped
saying.
up their like. So whatever Prime have done, to be fair, whatever Amazon have done, they've obviously had discussions with these like. Because I remember last year it wasn't that quick a turnaround. So it's only been
No.
the last few months.
No, it's been this year. Everything that's left the cinema, I'd say under 6 months easily, everything's been available on Prime.
But it's not even months anymore. The last couple of months, it's been almost weeks.
Yeah, well, it depends on the film. If it's a small film, it's going to come out as soon as it's ended in the cinema. It will be a couple of weeks and it'll be
Yeah,
out.
the turnaround is getting quick. I'm getting to the point where it's almost at a point where it'll be equal, where you can go and pay however much you go to the cinema, or on Amazon Prime,
If you
that film release day is $29.99.
well, if you've got a family, you got like 2 adults, 2 kids on average. It'd be better to spend 16
I
quid.
think that's
if you've got
where
a
it's
good,
gearing up to.
if you've got
Drew,
a
we're
good
just saying, I
cinema
think
setup,
Amazon
if you've got a good cinema
eventually,
setup at home, then play it at home.
I
But
say within
otherwise,
the next 2 years, Amazon will release a film the same day as a cinema, but it will be $29.99 or $34.99. It'll be expensive.
but
It'll be
cheaper than the cinema.
they'll basically be like what it would be equivalent of 5 people watching it. So you have the option of just paying that money and having it forever and keeping it, or you go to the cinema, or you buy popcorn. But I think that will
There's the
then
small print, by
boost.
the way. When you pay for a film to own it, you don't own it. If that decides to remove it from the platform, you've got no control.
That's what's frightening, man.
If you pay for a film and they take it off, like like Netflix, sometimes it says leaving soon to generate more. You've lost it. You don't.
Netflix doesn't count it because Netflix you can't buy things.
No, that happens in Prime as well.
But
You will lose
I've
it.
bought things on Prime in the last.
Yeah, it'll be fine now, but in 5 years' time, you might not have that.
That's frightening.
That's a truth. That's a fact.
They have to
That's
give you
not an
money
opinion.
back in that case.
Well, it's just what it is.
The
Well,
refund, yeah.
It's in the small
on,
print you've
on
agreed to
iTunes,
already.
I have an obscene amount of movies on there now, and a while back when they did the transition into something else, I almost lost all those films. But then I found all of the receipts. Like, I don't know how I managed to cut and paste all these receipt numbers for the serial numbers for each film, sent it to them, and then they sent me over every single movie I'd ever downloaded.
Yeah, I've bought stuff on Prime that's not.
Which was really good of them, though, to be
Prime's
fair.
different to Netflix in the sense that Prime doesn't ever actually delete anything. It just moves it to payable. So
okay.
if you go on Netflix and you can watch, I don't know, Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire, and in 2 months' time it's not on there anymore, and it's on Prime, I can watch that for free. If 2 months later it's not on Prime for free, it will just have a monetary value next to it. It never actually removes anything from Prime, as far as I'm aware.
But I think what Kev was saying is, say you bought it,
Yeah.
would it not stay in your kind of like catalog, like so you can still
because
go
they
to
never
it?
delete anything off Prime.
No,
They just
you
put a
legally
monetary
don't
figure
own it.
against
Yeah,
it.
But you'd have to buy it again.
Yeah,
No. Once you think,
Oh,
no.
guys, whatever it is, it doesn't matter because you legally do not own it. You've bought it from that platform. If that platform, even if they haven't now, if they decide to remove it tomorrow, you lose it.
But you
That's
get your
the
money
truth.
back.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing that upsets me, right? This is why I heard there's a big battle, and a few people were talking about this the other day, that they want DVDs to come back. They want DVDs to come back. They want DVD players to come back because this was a better time in the sense that...
Never going to happen.
Well, no, hear me out. But it's the fact that, one, you've got all the cool artwork on the DVD, you've got the special features, blah, blah, blah. But also you fucking own it, man. It's
Could have bought Blu-rays, but no one did.
It's physical, though.
I'm starting to consider...
if you're sat at your house, right, with your TV remote, and you can go click, 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 press,
No, we get it.
It's so
we
much
get it.
easier than
But
going to your cupboard, open it
I'm
up. Where's the
genuinely
DVD?
thinking
Blah blah blah.
about collecting a bunch of Blu-rays for like sets. Like I want to get the Tarantino set on Blu-ray because I will revisit them. The
100.
X Pearl and Maxine trilogy. I want to get some sets of stuff because I will revisit them, and they're not always going to be available on these platforms. And like, for instance, the other day I wanted to watch what was it, like a Simon Pegg film. I'd watched Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead, and I wanted to watch the third one just to finish it off. Couldn't find it,
World's End.
but it'll be
True.
available somewhere. It'll be available
True,
somewhere.
you're right
in
in the
future,
sense that
and it has been.
Blu-rays will come back in the sense that vinyls came back.
Well,
People
still
like
do
the
it. People do
inconvenience
collect
of
them now.
having a library there that they can just go click rather than just pressing ... on your phone. Because even if a film's not on Netflix or Prime or whatever, a quick search you can find it. It's not hard.
But here's the thing that I like as well. And when it was interesting that you said, like, so some people, you were like, oh, you don't want to have to go over there and pick something and pull it out and open it up and put it in. But here's the thing, when you got mates around, right? Say, for example, or you got a friend around, or it's a date night or whatever it is, and someone comes around and it's the first time in your house and they go over to that wall of DVDs, there's nothing
They'll
more
think, where
exciting.
the fuck am I, a time warp?
Well, yeah, maybe, but there's nothing more exciting than them going, oh, you've got such and such. It sparks up the conversation.
That's when
they pull
what
down
you've got to remember is
the
Netflix is
DVD.
not going to be Netflix in 3 months' time. Netflix is completely dead. In 3
You
months,
do-
it's gone.
you
It's
do
not.
realise
It's
the
not
argument-
Netflix anymore.
Oh,
So it
guys,
won't be
you do
next. Netflix and chill won't be the thing.
Netflix is gone in 3 months. You know that, don't you?
No.
Yes, it is. It's
We
going
got
to
to wrap this
adverts.
up.
One.
What?
So Netflix is turning into a live TV show.
Yeah, but it's already got adverts.
Yeah, but no, it's going live.
What?
As in, Netflix is going live in a
Like,
couple
say-
of months.
Like Instagram.
No, live as in live shows we broadcast on Netflix.
Well, I'm getting off it.
What, like BBC?
No, they've bought Netflix. You know WWE wrestling?
Kind of. Yeah, I know.
They've
I know of it.
signed to Netflix, so it means Netflix will now start streaming live, like Prime does.
Right.
Cool.
Which means the addition of advertisation, so you'll get ads.
It's already got ads. Yeah.
Ads are already
Yeah, but
there.
now it'll have more because it's a TV channel. It's not a streaming service anymore. It's a
It
TV
doesn't
channel.
matter. You pay more to not have ads, so I don't have ads. I can have Netflix for $4.99, but I pay 16 quid.
But yeah,
But
what I'm
don't
saying
have
is your traditional Netflix is gone in a couple of months. It's now its own TV channel.
Right.
So the whole dynamic's changing. So eventually there'll be no BBC, there'll be no ITV, there'll be no Sky. It'll be all, you pick what you want and it will all be on there and you pay X amount a month.
Also, the argument for DVDs over streaming,
You don't need the internet.
it almost is irrelevant because people,
You don't
I
need the internet.
buy vinyls, but I've got Spotify, so I don't need any vinyls.
No,
So
neither do
want
I. But I buy vinyl because I like the inconvenience.
But it's also the nostalgia, right? Because like when you've talked on lots of these episodes, Kev, you're like, look at the artwork, look at the way it's designed, look at like the special, even
Plus,
the way
if you're
that
a
the
collection
vinyl.
of your,
Yeah.
I'll listen to an album on Spotify, and if I like it enough, I'll get it on vinyl.
There you go.
You might be like me, Kev. You're kind of like me. I think if I really, really enjoy an album or something, I'll go and buy it on vinyl because in my head I'm kind of giving a bit more back to the artist.
That's nice.
Definitely.
And also I have something physical where I'm not relying on Wi-Fi or broadband.
This is a big chat. Like I was saying the other day, the thing that scared me about Wi-Fi is over time it became like this cobweb that kind of is the puppeteer of everything. And now we can't escape it because I was thinking the other day, like when I didn't have any Wi-Fi on my phone, not only could I not receive messages from all you guys, I can't do sod all. I couldn't even find maps. I was lost in Brighton. I couldn't find, I couldn't receive messages. Like you become so out of the loop without Wi-Fi that it is crippling. And I don't like the power it has. And it is really frightening, especially when...
Watch the film Afraid. Watch
Yeah.
the film Afraid and you'll enjoy.
I was going to say one thing on your defense with Blu-rays, Kev, which I think they messed up on.
Can we make this the final point? Because it's getting really late.
Yeah. When Blu-rays first came out, they had loads of extras on, like behind the scenes, trailers, all this stuff. and they just stopped doing it.
No, now they just show it on YouTube. Now it's like
because the Blu-ray could store so much more memory than a CD. They had all these extras and all these behind the scenes extra footage and that, and then they just stopped doing it for some reason.
But that's why they charged more for Blu-ray. It was really clever because, like, especially with Oppenheimer, the Blu-ray version had more special features. You're absolutely right. It had more behind the scenes. It had more director's cut.
It gave you a reason to buy it.
Exactly. But they had to because the price was more than what it would have been for a DVD.
But in general films, they just stopped doing it.
Yeah. This one's just.
We'll get a Betamax player.
Love you guys. Now fuck off.
This has been Rage Whale. Thanks for hanging out with us. We hope you had a whale of a time.